Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teresa of My Budget. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again today. So in today's video, we'll be working on setting up my May financial dashboard, as well as outlining my budget for paycheck number 1. For those of you who are new here, I am a zero-based budgeter. I make sure that I follow the zero-based budget method when I am outlining my paycheck. I don't do it monthly. I prefer to budget bi-weekly, which is how I get paid. So we'll be setting up the first paycheck for May. I am filming this a little bit late, so I've already gotten paid, but I'll show you what my plan is. This is again setting it up in my digital planner. I do have a mock budget that I use on Excel, and I set that up beforehand for each month. I try to do it quarterly, and I'll be sure to show you that one day in a future video. But for now, I'll just be setting it up in my digital planner. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. And for my financial dashboard, what I'll be filling out right now is the bill tracker. For those of you who watched my previous video, I did mention that I stopped putting my bills on my master calendar here in my digital planner. I just felt like it was too overwhelming, and because I do have a mock budget in Excel as well as on my Google Calendar, I do outline my fixed expenses, and this reoccurs monthly, so I'll be referencing my Google Calendar as I fill out this bill tracker. So for this section here, total income, total spent, total savings, I'm going to fill that out at the end of the month. Lessons learned, I'll be filling out in the end of the month. And then the money habits tracker, I will just be marking here with a sticker or a widget the days that I do not do any takeout, or the days that I don't spend any money, essentially. So let me go ahead and quickly fill this out, and then I'll explain to you what everything means and the categories. Before I continue, something that I did want to highlight is that my rent did go up. We did re-sign our lease here for one more year and went up $48. So before, my rent was $1,200 and now it is $224. Now, just to explain quickly, Apple One is the additional iCloud storage that I pay for, and Apple 2 is Apple Music. I have the family plan. I pay for the family plan because of my mom. She uses Apple Music too, so that's just something that I cover for her. So for the rent and pet insurance, this is through Lemonade. We have rental insurance and pet insurance through the same company. It comes out on the same day, so I just combine it as one line. Now, one of the things I love about digital planning is that if you noticed, I stopped filling out the category because I didn't want to write it over and over again. So now I'm just going to copy and paste anywhere that it's a fixed expense. And don't do what I did. When you copy, you want to make sure, or when you use the lasso tool, you want to make sure that you're lassoing everything that you want. Click and copy, and now paste. So I'm just gonna quickly go through and run through this. And now that I've outlined the fixed expenses, I'm gonna go ahead and write a variable. I do have other variable expenses, but those are more for groceries, my miscellaneous category, takeout. I don't include my sinking funds here either, but you'll see that when I set up my actual budget by paycheck. I'll go into more of where I am with my debt at the end of the month, but in this bill tracker, I do include the minimum payment and the due dates for the debt that I have, specifically Chase Sapphire and the Bank of America are something that I pay no matter what because I'm paying down the debt there. But sometimes I'll use Best Buy and Chase Freedom just to get different points or different rewards. So I'd like to have that on here so I know when to pay those off by and what the minimum is. But again, I really try to pay these 2 credit cards off right away because they are already 2 credit cards that I paid down to 0 and I don't want another balance on them. Now that I've gone ahead and filled out my bill tracker, one thing that I am adding is that I will be highlighting which bills are on automatic payment. So automatic payment means for me that the payments for these expenses come out of my bank account automatically. So if you notice, the majority of my bills come out automatically. As some of you may know, but for those of you who are new, I live in New York City with my boyfriend. We do split all of the house bills 50-50. So it's just a matter of when we have all of the house bills put together, normally at the beginning of the month, and then I'll pay through my bank account these expenses. That's the only reason they're not on auto pay, because I just wait until my boyfriend gives me the money and then, or his portion of the bills, and then I'll pay it by their due dates. So hopefully we can get to a point where we can just put all of them on auto pay, because it really does make my life way easier. And then my debt payments, that's something that I just like to control myself, so I don't have those on auto pay. So now that it's the beginning, or it's pretty much May 10th already, I'm just gonna go ahead and mark off what bills have been paid already. As you'll see, as I mark off the paid expenses, a lot of my bills are paid with the first paycheck of the month, which is, like I said, I was already paid on May 5th. So you'll see how many I have left for the second half of the paycheck. And it'll be clearer also once I input my budget in my digital planner for the May 5th paycheck. So like I said, with my bills, with my paycheck, I pay my debt right away. I don't wait until the due dates are due. And even my Bank of America credit card, though it's technically not due until after my second paycheck, I pay that with my first paycheck because I really like to get the debt out of the way. So now that my bill tracker is filled out, I'm going to go ahead and fill out this money habits tracker. So with my star sticker, what I'm going to do now is outline the days that I did not spend any money that was outside of my budget. So what do I mean by that? For example, I have $260 budgeted this paycheck, and this will make sense later on in the video. I have $260 budgeted for this paycheck for miscellaneous items. So as long as I stay within that for the next 2 weeks, I should be fine. But if I do go outside of that money, I will be sure to mark what day I spent over that amount. One category I know I went over already is takeout. So I'm just gonna be transparent and put how many days we had, or not mark, but put the days that we didn't have takeout, which hasn't been many. Again, if you watched my monthly May reset, I'm no longer shaming myself for takeout. I am almost 7 months pregnant. It is getting harder to do things around the house. Fatigue is setting in, so I am no longer shaming myself for takeout. Something else that I mentioned in my monthly May reset is that May is a very busy month for us, and the next few months will be extremely busy. So I know that we'll be spending money. I just want to make sure that I have a strong budget and that I'm not putting anything that I extra onto debt. So I'm trying to do everything cash based as much as possible. So starting with the 9th and going backwards, I'm just gonna mark any day that was a no spend day. We spent money on Saturday, but this was within our budget for Mother's Day items. I'm going to leave the 10th blank because the 10th isn't over yet. So at the end of the month, I'll go over the days where we didn't spend any money outside of our budget. Now, let's go ahead and fill out my paycheck, my budget by paycheck worksheet for my first paycheck in May. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse me filling this out. Now let's go ahead and add up the categories. Now I'm going to subtract this. Okay, so I know I'm a zero-based budgeter and I have $880 left in my account. One of the things that I've been doing is trying to just leave small balances in my account. So zero-based budgeting doesn't necessarily mean that your account has to be at zero. It just means that you give every dollar a job. So this $880 has a job, it's just helping my account balance. Now, one thing that I really want to highlight is since I already got paid, I know that when I do my bi-weekly check-in for my paycheck, that this is actually the amount that I got paid. So I'll be showing you in that video how I had to readjust my budget in order to accommodate the decrease in pay. Now, just to explain right now, the reason I had a decrease in pay was because I got a pay raise increase back in November. For some reason, and I haven't really figured out why, but this has happened to me several times with my job, my HR department only updates our pension almost like once a year or biannually. And so once my pension realizes, oh, she got a raise, we haven't been taking enough out for her retirement, then they go ahead and take it out in installment payments. So for the month of May, my paycheck will actually be $2019.45. On top of the installment payment, they adjust me percentage-wise to what I should be at. So based off of my pay increase, instead of taking 4.5% out of my paycheck, they had to bump me to 5.5%. So this $20.85 will no longer be my bi-weekly paycheck. I won't know my exact bi-weekly paycheck until June. Once they take out the payment's only like $87.75. They split it between two paychecks. I could pay it directly to the pension, but I honestly, I'm just annoyed that this happens anyway. And if I'm being transparent, I'm getting another pay increase come July 1st. So it's going to happen again at some point, either later this year or the beginning of next year, where they're going to realize I got another pay increase and I'm going to need to pay more into my pension than I am currently paying now. I've tried to talk to my HR department. I don't know why this happens. It is their system. It's been happening since I've worked here for the last 7 years now. So I just kind of say it is what it is and move on with it. So I will be showing you in my bi-weekly check-in where I currently am with my budget, this paycheck one, and how I was able to adjust. Something else that I wanted to highlight was that I didn't put any money towards my savings or my sinking funds. I said this was going to be a high spend month. So will the month of June. There's a lot of things happening for baby. The baby shower is next month. This extra debt payment is actually just me putting baby shower things on my credit card and then wanting to pay it off right away, because like I said, I try to pay off my credit cards, especially Best Buy and Chase Freedom, which is where this money is going, as soon as possible. because having a balance on there makes me anxious. So when I do my bi-weekly check-in, what we'll be doing is updating my budget worksheet. Actually, let me put the date quickly. All right, like I was saying, when I film my bi-weekly check-in, what I'll be doing is going over how I adjusted for this quote-unquote pay decrease, because that's what it was, where I currently am with my cash envelopes, and where I currently am with spending for the month of May. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Please stay tuned for my future videos. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you aren't already part of the My Budget family. You can also follow me at My Budget over on Instagram as well as TikTok. I've been trying to get more comfortable with being on TikTok, so be sure to give me a follow on those two platforms as well. But until next time, friends, I wish you nothing but positive vibes. Yes, positive vibes. Take care. Bye-bye.